Welcome to a new tutorial of AP Computer Science. Today we're going to be extending your knowledge about Java with creating a main class and calling out method from a subclass. So first we start by creating the main class, naming it could be anything. So name, this case will be AP9 test. That'll be the main class that is going to be running the whole program basically. So we first start by declaring the class name, AP9 test. We create a body, and then inside the body we declare the main of the class, public static. Static means that it won't return anything. I think either one won't return anything from to anything else. Main string. And then we create a body for that main. Inside the main, we're gonna be calling out the subclass that it doesn't exist right now, but will be created later on. So we call it out. The subclass can be named AP9, and the name we're gonna give that what's it called? The name will be line 1. New AP line. Inside this parenthesis are going to go the parameters, which you display the numbers that are going to be checking inside the subclass. In this case, the number is going to be 5, 4, and -17. And after you call out the main class, you start displaying all the other features that are going to be displayed when the system prints out the final result, which can be now we're just creating a line where we're going to call out from the method called get slope, and it's gonna check if there's 3 points, it's gonna check the slope of those 3 points throughout this line of code with creating a double. When we're checking for a slope, it needs to be a double because we want to make sure that the answer needs to be accurate and not rounded off. So double will display the accuracy of the decimals. Slope 1 equals. Then we call line 1, which is this right here, calling out from the subclass line 1, and then we're gonna get slope. This get slope is the name of the method that's gonna be created later on. And then after the find slope, we're gonna check if those 3 points are in a specific line on the graph by creating a boolean. If you guys don't know what a boolean is, a true or false statement that is returned. It only handles true and false questions. Like if this thing is true, return this, or else it will return the other thing. Then boolean on line 1, and that'll be line 1. Once again, this is the name of the name we created when we call out the subclass. So line 1 is on line, and then these are the 2 points we're gonna be checking, 5 and -2. The numbers could change. Right now we're just using those numbers just as default. After that, we want the system to print out the information. So system.out.print ln, and then line 1, and then we print out the slope. The line 1. Then after we print out the line 1 from that was returned by the subclass, like I said, it's going to be created later on. That's going to be displayed in the output print. And once it prints, the system outputs the information. Now we're going to print out the slope of the line. System.out.print ln, and then slope equals plus slope slope 1. And then the last system that I'll print will be the one telling the user if the line is on those points which we mentioned was going to be 5 and -2. The points that the system is checking. So system that print ln, and then it will be 5 and -2. -2 is on line, and then here's where the answer is being called out by displaying what is returned once the equation is executed. 1, 2. All this is basically what construct a main class when creating a subclass. I mean a main class. This way that can be calling out the main class, the subclass. I mean, it's gonna be calling out the subclass through here, and then once this information is displayed in the subclass, it's gonna return other information that's gonna be read by this and this, and then by double and boolean under the name slope 1 and on line 1, and then once that is read, it's gonna be printed out to the user. So we're not compiling this right now because it's gonna give us an error because the subclass doesn't exist right now. So now we create the subclass, which in this case gonna be named AP line. Inside AP line, we start by declaring the name of the class by public class AP line. We create a body for this, and then we start by and then in the AP test, for some reason they want you to declare the variables as a private, not as public. So we created 3 variables, which is A, B, and C, for the points 5 being A, 4 being B, and -17 C. So we create a private method, variable, private int A, then private int B, C. Then after that is created, we create a constructor which is going to read the data from the main class inside the parameters by creating public AP line. I'm guessing this name has to be the same as the subclass because you're calling out the constructor from this AP line. So just to be on the safe side, name it the same as the subclass, or the same you're calling out right here, AP line. So we create AP line, and then we declare the variables that are going to be read: int A1, then int B1, and int C1. We create a body for this. We close the previous body, the main body. Inside here, inside this body, we want to assign these variables A1, B1, and C1 to these private variables by using the statement this, which we haven't covered yet but this statement right now. But I'm guessing it's used like in English, like this is assigned to this. So this A1 equals, this A equals A1. This B equals B1, and this C equals C1. Then we close it. So that's basically the constructor that's going to be read from the main. And after the constructor, we want to create a method that's going to check the slope of the line, and we're going to name it getSlope. And to find the slope of the line, you need to divide negative A divided by B, which in this case are integers, and we want double as our answer. So we create a method, public double, we name it double because we wanted to return a double, not a integer, string, character, or any other variables. We want a double. We name it get slope. And then inside there, we in the side parameters, we leave it blank for right now. Well, we leave it blank, we don't put nothing, and we close the body again. So inside this method, we're gonna do the equation, evaluate the equation, negative a divided by b. So double equals slope, and then equals, like I said, we want the answer to be double. And as you see right here, 5 and 4 are integers, so they're going to return us a whole number, and we want a decimal. So we need to convert it to double by declaring a conversion inside the equation. So we convert it double, and then we put negative a and what's it called? Negative a and b, and then we close it. Here's the common mistake that most people do. They think that if they put the parentheses inside here, it will still do the same thing, but the program will read this as first, and it's going to return as an integer, and then because it's an integer, it won't convert it. It will do this first, and then ignore this completely, and just go into the integer and not do the double, result as an error. So you're converting, don't use parentheses around the equation. So after we do this, we want to return the slope by return slope. Then we close that, and that's basically the first method. Then the second method we want to create will be the is on line. It is checking if these 3 points are on line 5 and negative 2, point x and y. So we create a new method, public, and we want this answer to return as true and false, to tell the user that if the lines are in those positions. So we want to declare a Boolean variable, and then we're going to name it is online, the same name that's being called up right here, is online. So inside here, in this parameters, we do put something which will be integer x and integer y, which is checking the points of x and y. And then we close the parameter, create a new body of this method, and then we close the main body. Inside this method, we check. We're gonna use a what's it called? An if or else statement. An if statement checking if by using the quadratic formula a times x plus b times x then plus c equals 0. If this returns true, if this evaluates as true, then the program will return true, or else it will return false. In this case, we don't need else, because if it doesn't return true, it will return false until the user it is false. So this is gonna be y. My bad. X and y and x, y and c. All right. After this is done, basically these are the methods we're gonna be calling out in the main, and this is all we need for right now. If we compile this, there should be no error. What is it? Missing return statement. There. So now we could compile the main class. And we need to close this. All right. It's on line 1. On line 1. There are no error. So if we run the main, as you see right here, the AP line, which is the main class, is calling out the subclass by showing you with this error. So when you run the AP line, when you run the AP line test, which is the main, it should give you the answer as you execute it. And here it returns for some reason AP line 1, it doesn't check for the slope. It doesn't give you the slope. It gives you the place where the information is stored in the memory in the computer. This variable will change depending on each computer's name, position's name, and that's basically it with method, submethod, and method and subclasses inside main, calling them out through here using this, and that's it.